Hello and welcome to Mickey Elliott's amazing blog. I'm going to talk to you this evening about forthcoming Fortune Favours the Brave. It's a show at the Camden Centre. I've been matching it over the last couple of weeks. And top of the bill we've got Phil Gill. Phil, who's been with me since he first turned professional. His contract just expired and he signed a new one, so I always like it when boxers re-sign a new contract because it's a bit like sort of them confirming that you've done a good job for them over the previous 3 years. It's a really good fight, I think, actually. Phil's fighting Ibrah Riaz. Ibrah Riaz normally has had most of his career as a journeyman, and you see him and he's very good for about 2 rounds and then he blows out because he's always taking fights at short notice. You can see that he struggles fitness-wise. But here we've given him 2 months' notice, as has Phil had, and they're both first time that either of them's boxed for a title, and they're really going to be going for it. I'm really looking at, like, for a small hall fight or a small hall show. It's a perfect fight to put on. With TV fights, you have to. It's a different business, TV boxing, because cosmetically their records have to look good, regardless of how good or not so good that they are. If the record looks good, you can sort of somehow wedge them into that sort of class, and they can get on the telly. Small hall boxing, what's important is entertainment on the night, because we're going to pack the venue. We want those people to come back. If they see something extraordinary, they will come back, and they are going to see something extraordinary because these two highly motivated. They're both sluggers. We know they're going to stand in the centre of the ring. They both have plenty of time to prepare, and it's going to be an absolute slugfest. So I'm sure all of those punters who come on the 24th of Feb to the Camden Centre will return. A week after the show at Camden, I've got another show. Now I made an arrangement with Frank Warren to put a show. It's on Box Nation. Put a show together with him, and the thing is, we didn't get the date from Box Nation, and I had all these fighters that I had to put out, and so I got to a point where I just said, okay, well, these are all I'm gonna put them all on this show on the 24th of Feb. Got all the fighters, their tickets, the posters out, and probably about 3 days after I got all the tickets out to the fighters, Box Nation gave us this date, the 2nd of March, that we can have, meaning that I've ended up. So now I've got 2 shows in like one on the Friday 24th, the following Friday on the 2nd of March I have another show. Really looking forward to doing a show with Frank Warren. I mean, most of my lifetime, Frank Warren's been like the top promoter in the UK. I mean, all the big names, really. Calzaghe, Hatton, Nassim, they've all been with Warren, and he's built them up, and I think I've learnt a lot from him. He's been like probably an unknowing schoolmaster to me. I feel like I've learnt a lot just from watching the way that he operates. So now to be doing a show with him, for me personally, that's a really nice thing. It's actually with Queensbury Promotions, which is George and Francis, but yeah, going to be nice to do some shows with them, and hopefully it'll all go well. I'm sure it will. The 2nd of March at the Troxy, the Box Nation show, we've got top of the bill WBO Super Featherweight Intercontinental title with Stephen Smith and Ben Jones. Stephen Smith just got beat for the British title. Ben Jones is the reigning English champion, so that should make a good fight. In fact, will make a good fight, because I know how motivated they'll be. I mean, it's like an unofficial British title eliminator. Whoever wins that surely is in pole position to fight for the British title. I can't think of anyone else having a better claim to the British title outside of them. Chief support, we've got Ashley Sexton. Ashley was with me from when he first turned pro. He made a huge mistake of signing with another manager after his contract expired. But now we're back working together, and really looking forward to doing it, actually, because I have watched all of Ashley's fights since I stopped managing him, and there was definitely something missing, confidence. There was a lot of technical things as well. He was off balance, and he was just letting people off the hook, letting people get away with things. That now he's back with his old trainer. I know Paul Rees. I mean, Paul will have spotted that. And in fact, even when we were watching him, I think it was at Olympia or Earls Court, it was up there somewhere. We saw the fight, and he just seemed to have gone back a step. And the thing is, I know now he's back with Paul. Paul will communicate with Ashley in a way that Ashley can sort of he reacts to it, and I think we're going to see the best Ashley Sexton again. Hence, I mean, Ashley's actually matched at the Troxy with Fadhili Magia, who Fadhili just beat the guy that was mandatory for the Commonwealth title, so he's no mug. This is a tough fight for Ashley, and if Ashley comes through with a win, which obviously we're hoping he will, and I have faith that he will, because I know that when Ashley's on his game, he can be Commonwealth champion, he can be British champion. He can do something, but he's been a bit off the boil, so we need to reverse that now. And this is with a view, if he wins the fight on the 2nd of March, then we'll do a promotional contract with Frank Warren, and it won't be long after that Ashley will be back in the title mix and fighting for a British or a Commonwealth title. We've packed out the undercard at the Troxy. We've got 15 fights on. Should be a really good night, I think. We've got a lot of up and coming guys on there, and Troxy's a big venue. It's a huge venue, so I'm really looking forward to working there. The title that they're fighting for is the vacant super featherweight intercontinental title, WBO vacant super featherweight intercontinental title. Stephen Smith and Ben Jones, two top super featherweights. A lot of people sort of groan when they hear this intercontinental or international title, and I'm not exactly a huge fan of them, but one thing that I don't think the governing bodies do enough is actually explaining the significance of, because, okay, so fighting for the intercontinental title, I mean, what is the champion of that actually champion of? Or the international champion? A lot of people don't understand, well, what is it? Champion of international or of doesn't... But the significance of those titles is actually quite a motivating factor for the fighters, because normally if you win like the international, the WBC international titles, for example, you automatically get a top 30 ranking. So from a fighter's point of view who wants to fight for that world title, it makes sense for them. They understand, if I win this, I get a ranking with that federation, with that boxing sanctioning body, and it's a stepping stone in that sort of direction. So these two are going to fight for the WBO Intercontinental title. Whoever wins it is going to get a ranking with the WBO, and hopefully a couple of wins later will be in the frame for a world title shot. Worst case scenario, whoever wins it, I mean, this is surely... you couldn't really have a better eliminator for the British title, so whoever wins it, I think, will successfully then be made mandatory for the British title. And that's what I really like in when I'm making my fights, because I am heavily reliant on putting good fights on. I can't have Joe Bloggs fighting some guy that we all know is going to beat him on point. It can't be that. It has to be, for me to survive, for my business to thrive, and for me to get the energy in the event that I need to have. I've got to have, and this is a perfect fight, because I know both of these, Stephen Smith just coming off the British title loss, Ben Jones, reigning English champion, and wanting to go that step higher, they're both going to be going absolutely flat out for a win. Both of them are very popular guys, so I know they're both going to have sold a load of tickets. It's going to be a brilliant atmosphere on the night, and that's the kind of fights we want to be putting on. Then we've got a big undercard, a lot of up and coming guys. Anyway, that's it from me. I'm off to bed. I'm up tomorrow morning, and I've got in the morning I'm running around behind Euston putting posters up for the Fortune Favours the Brave show on the 24th of Feb at the Camden Centre, and then I've got meetings most of the day all around London. Actually, I've got it's going to be a busy week. But anyway, we'll get these 2 shows out of the way, and then that'll be us a bit of momentum into the new year. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See you then. Bye bye.